Welcome back to another episode of the Knights in the AM podcast.
We'll be bringing you up to date on Central Florida sports, news, and all things UCF with your hosts, Zach Klauber and Brendan Steggy.
And as always, go Knights.
And charge on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another
everybody.
Episode of Knights in the AM podcast. Zach, what's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, Steg. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and guess what? We had an amazing week of UCF sports.
It was maybe the most fun I've had at a football game.
And an amazing weekend coming up. I can't wait to talk about it. Just so you guys know, it is literally 2:05 a.m. here.
Oh, yeah. We need to get this done.
So this is what happened, basically. Before we get into sports, we planned on doing episodes Thursday night, Sunday night, releasing them Friday morning, Monday morning. UCF football game was on a Thursday.
Yeah.
So it kind of pushed everything back.
And it was late Thursday.
It was late. And then there's hurricane stuff, and then I had a concert to go to. You were gallivanting around, so
having a good time.
But here we are at 2 a.m. You know, this
took us about an hour of setup.
This is a priority to me and to you. So I'm totally ready. It's
Absolutely.
2 a.m. It does
I'm
not
excited.
matter to me or him. You want to jump?
Yeah,
to
let's
recap?
go in the recap if you want to start us off.
Yeah, we're gonna start every episode with a little recap, and then we're gonna jump back into each sport
Absolutely.
and talk in depth about anything. To start off, football, obviously 62-0 win over Florida A&M.
FAMU.
Wimbush, 12 for 23, 168 yards, 2 throwing touchdowns. Gabriel, 9 for 13, 127 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Also, Quadri Jones had a throwing touchdown. This is one of the first times in recent memory UCF had 3 quarterbacks throw a touchdown in the same game.
Yeah, no, that's great. And we're definitely going to have some discussion about that football game.
Absolutely.
But let's finish recapping the rest of the sports. So women's soccer, unfortunately in our home opener, fell 1-0 to Wisconsin. They're ranked number 16, though. And it's not all bad, and we're going to get a little bit more in-depth to that later. Men's soccer, we beat FIU 3-1. Cal Jennings scored his 4th goal in 2 games. No real surprise. Got a great assist by the captain, Jonathan Dean. We also then, on Friday, fell to Wake Forest, but they're ranked number 4. There was only a 2-1 loss.
Unbelievable game.
Cal Jennings scored again in that game. And 15 versus a 4 and falling late 2-1. It's not too bad.
On the road.
Yeah, on the road. We'll definitely improve on that. But, Seg, if you want to continue for us.
Yep, UCF cross country had an invitational down in Boca Raton at FAU. The Knights finished 2nd, which is 1 spot higher than last year when they finished 3rd. FAU did take the crown, but I'm very happy with where they placed. They beat out Nova Southeastern, FIU, FGCU, Miami, and Stetson in that invitational. And volleyball, a week ago before we recorded our first podcast, they were going against UF in a scrimmage. They unfortunately lost, but they started the Rebel Invitational at Ole Miss with the victory over Iowa, 3-2 victory. So now that that's over, you want to hop into football? That is the biggest talk.
I think we should
That's
definitely.
the biggest talk of the campus.
I think we should definitely talk about football.
right.
So obviously a great win.
Absolutely. I love it.
Tons of fun. We got to watch new quarterbacks play. 2 new quarterbacks. Well, 3 technically. Some new wide receivers. Some names I didn't even recognize.
Right. Like,
Williams.
And Thompson was a running back.
And Thompson was a running back.
Too.
He did good. Some new defensive guys. I got to see my boy Kenny get in there.
Right.
Tournier.
Exactly.
He did great. But I think. I've been preparing for this thing. You know, obviously we both watched a football game. I'm gonna go with a big question for you.
Right.
To kind of start it off. Who do you think's a better quarterback?
This is very hard to tell against a defense like FAMU.
That's true.
Who's not a real defense. Sorry if you're a FAMU fan.
There isn't. I can guarantee it.
Right, but this year I'm gonna go Wimbush. I have total faith in him. He's excited to play for this team. You got to realize the transition. Notre Dame is a traditional, like, run the football, take your time sort of offense, old school.
Yep.
He goes from an old school Notre Dame against totally new conference, totally new offense under new coach. It's going to take some time, which is why he wasn't perfect. He still did impress a lot of people with his running ability and his body size.
Body size is a huge thing.
His throws were a little off, but he even said in interviews, like, "Hey, he's like, I'm gonna keep making those deep throws until I hit them in games, you know."
And that's a good attitude to have,
love it.
as long as he can get it in.
I love it. Dylan Gabriel, nothing wrong with his performance. In fact, it was like exceptional. It was incredible. That little man can throw from the left side.
To be honest with you, I thought that you were going to go with Gabriel because my pick is also Wimbush.
Right.
I think Gabriel did really well, like you're saying, but it's just about size. It's really Gabriel's short, and he's a little bit flat-footed when it comes to moving around the pocket.
Yeah.
He's not bad at it, but he's definitely not as versatile as Wimbush.
Right.
Wimbush is also obviously way more experienced.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with who Dylan Gabriel is, he's out of Miliani High School. True freshman, 18-year-old kid. I follow him on Instagram. He literally just posted prom pictures.
He's younger than us.
Right. He's doing high school stuff on social media, and now I'm watching him play for a franchise that's all eyes on us right now. So.
And it's good that both of the two quarterbacks have great help when it comes to our receivers, and even our O-line was doing really well.
Yeah, let's go over the receiving. Ready?
Definitely.
So my sleeper. Otis Anderson, 3 receptions, 39 yards. He had a receiving touchdown.
Yep.
He also rushed 4 times, 37 yards. And he punt returned 6 times, 79 yards,
and
13.2 average. Hey, I was not going to say that.
We got to call it out. Good and
bad.
But
a fumble. And go with your sleeper, Trey Nixon.
Trey Nixon. He did great. Not as good as Gabe Davis. Do you have the stats pulled up on Trey Nixon?
I do. Trey Nixon, 6 receptions, 61 yards, 10.2 on average, and a catching touchdown from Dylan Gabriel. His longest was 30 yards.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he did great. We have to also kind of set back a minute and think that we are playing FAMU.
Right. But
it's still a fun game.
It's exciting to talk about.
And it's still, it's not like they're playing kids. Like, it's still the same age. You're still college kids.
Division I athletes.
D1 athletes.
As embarrassing as that was for them.
Yeah, and like Gabe Davis literally.
Gabe Davis. I mean, you just throw
it was
up
like
to
playing.
that man.
It was like playing against children. Like number 8. Well, I don't know. Nobody knows who he is. He's on FAMU.
Yeah,
that guy's a bum.
He got mossed a bunch
Dude's
of times.
Dude's a bum. Dude's losing 41-0. Gabe gets overthrown. He's wagging his finger.
2 touchdowns for Gabe Davis. I mean,
yeah.
Both,
I said it like in the last podcast that Trey's my sleeper, but I think Gabe is gonna be the safety net for both quarterbacks, and he was. He's a big guy. He knows how to use his body. He definitely falls in under that kind of Julio Jones type. Just chuck it up.
Another stat not to overlook. Everyone had eyes on McCray as a starting running back because he had such a successful second half of the season. Killins, 14 carries, over 100 yards.
Shifty.
Averaged 7.6 a carry and a touchdown.
Yeah.
When you run over 100 yards and score a touchdown, that is basically all you can ask for a running back.
Definitely, 100%.
Unbelievable performance. I'm excited to see him play.
Yeah, no, Killins did great. Literally, I got to be honest, I can't remember a spot in the game that didn't do well other than that one punt we shanked.
The first one or
yeah,
something?
It was like a 16, but there was an unnecessary roughness, so it backed it up 15. So it was basically like a punt.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much the only real error I saw. I mean,
Wimbush also fumbled twice, but recovered in both.
Yeah.
So, I guess we have to work on that.
Yeah, it was just a vision thing. It seemed like in the offense.
If you fumble twice as a quarterback, it's still not as
That's
much
some
as
Dario Mack numbers.
So
yeah.
I'll take 2 fumbles, honestly. Our defense didn't do anything special. There was that deal for all UCF students where if we get a pick, everyone gets a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and we're obviously
it's FAMU, baby, Chick-fil-A.
But no picks and not too many sacks. But a lot of incomplete passes, so great job by the defense. Nothing flashy, but when they put up a 0 spot against you, that's all you can ask for, honestly. That's subpar. That's incredible.
Yeah, no, we did great. Obviously, like I said, I wish we could have had that pick. We had a couple we were close to, but the D-line did amazing. That was definitely the highlight.
They had nothing going for
our
them.
cornerbacks did well, but that quarterback also couldn't hit.
Well, he wasn't good at all.
Yeah, he definitely could. He couldn't hit a 6-yard out route.
He tried to look like Trevor Lawrence.
I know.
With long hair, and he was totally the opposite.
I know. It's just sad, but our D-line was on fire.
Yeah.
Kenny's number 7, and then number 6. He was doing amazing, but everyone was. We're literally running our depth. Like, we had our 6th string D tackles in, and they were getting to the quarterback. So that was really cool to see.
Here's another thing I want to mention to you guys. Watching the game, obviously you guys expect me to say this. I'm going to say UCF looked great, whatever. Watching the game, watching them, the chemistry, and how, after every play, hyping each other up, slapping each other's helmets, lifting each other up. There is some crazy chemistry going on. They are playing for something.
Definitely.
And in the first half, we scored 48 points. They just kept going and going and going. It didn't seem like they could do anything wrong.
Yeah.
This is a special team. We're living through a special period.
Definitely.
In UCF football. I'm so excited.
You mentioned something I never really thought about before, but about running up the score. In college, that doesn't really exist because you're now putting players in who it's not like the NFL.
Right.
You're now putting players in who don't get a chance, and they now get a chance to see. It's like when Dylan Gabriel came into the game, it might as well have been 0-0.
Exactly.
Or, when some random cornerback who's ninth on our roster comes in, like, for him, that game is still 0-0. It is now his chance to prove himself.
Exactly. Like when we put in Quadri Jones, like nothing was happening at the time of the game, and Quadri went 2 for 2, 61 yards, and a touchdown pass at a 99.8 QB rating. So I mean, there's no letting up in any part of this offense. It's so fun to watch all these guys play together. Like
definitely
the chemistry. I feel like teams like UF use this as a springboard to get into the NFL, but watching UCF play, they really want to play for something.
Definitely.
It's so amazing.
And you can feel that in the stadium, too.
Absolutely. You feel like you're a part of it, too. It's
when we show that video and you get – when all the players run over and they're all looking and, hyping each other up, hyping us up, we're hyping them up. It's really cool. And that was I got to be honest, that was a great – I get we're playing FAMU, but that was a great student section game. I felt like that was I don't know, it was way bigger feeling than the game might have should have been, but that's a good thing.
Right, absolutely. Loved it. You want to move on?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were going to have a little argument about the quarterbacks.
The quarterback thing, yeah. So, my thing is, like, Wimbush is older and big, and at least in our offense, like, there's a lot of running going on.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I love how Wimbush fits. I know he didn't play where his potential is yet, but he will.
Yeah, no, and obviously this is his first game. We mentioned it, and he obviously has to get used to the offense. We've run a super quick offense, super fast-paced, literally the fastest-paced offense I think I've seen.
Yeah,
Chip Kelly tried it, didn't work.
Definitely
I mean, worked in college, but it's crazy, and it is hard, and I get it. I get how hard it is.
Yeah, so definitely hats off to UCF. I'm so excited to watch you play FAU. Speaking of FAU, I'm really excited to talk about cross country. I ran cross country in high school.
I didn't.
Zach definitely didn't. I love running. I still run every single day. I still compete in street races, and I'm really excited to talk about this. So there was an invitational at FAU where an invitational is usually like 6-7 teams like run against each other in a 5K, and they tally up the top 5 scores of each school, average them, and then they put the standings up. At least that's how it was in high school. I think that's how it is in NCAA. So UCF. This girl, we only have a girls team, and Thomas.
For cross country, we don't have a boys.
Yeah, we don't have a boys like varsity team, but we do have a club.
Interesting.
So our top 2 runners finished 11th and 12th overall, which is outstanding.
Yep.
1938 for 5K at the 11th place runner, and in 12th was 1944, and both of them, that was their collegiate debut.
That's awesome.
The first one being Thomas Steggy, and the second one being Caitlin Soltis. So we have another invitational in Gainesville next week, and I believe late September we're actually hosting one, or early October.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're hosting one, at the softball field, softball complex. So if you're around, I'm going to be there because I miss invitationals. I love watching
that's awesome.
cross-country races. So
yeah, cross-country is definitely an underappreciated sport.
Absolutely.
And it's crazy to because like I've never been to an invitational. It seems like it's a lot of fun to watch.
It's like you can't even explain like people who don't compete just think it's running. It's so much more than that because like there's like you gotta maybe sprint fast when they call go to get into a spot if like the starting line funnels into a little tunnel or something like that or a path. Yeah. So you gotta get a strategy to get in the right pack, you know.
And I also think it's funny because you mentioned just running, but when we watch a football game and we watch like Killens just burn somebody, we're like, wow, that's really cool. But then someone's doing that, but it's the same thing except he's not wearing a helmet and has a ball in his hand. Right. Exactly. It's not cool. So it's weird. I get it though. It's definitely cool because it's just physical feat. It's like every other sport. Right. It's like seeing someone who is maxing out their body's potential. Like it's just cool.
Yeah, it's so awesome. And I really like one day want to get a cross country competitor on here because I want to know about like what they eat in preparation for games and whatnot. So that's really exciting to me. I really like cross country.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, and I didn't know. like we talked about this in the first podcast too. Like I didn't know about that until now.
Exactly.
So it's like,
yeah. So I'm excited. I don't know the exact date of the home meet, but we're gonna record another podcast in a couple days.
Yeah. So we'll cover on that, and we'll talk about our predictions for the FAU game coming up too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you want to keep going, Steg, if you have any other recap, if not, I can get another football question.
All right, cool. I just want to throw in the coach Brian Jackson of the cross country team is very excited and says that there's something special here because we came in third last year and now we passed Miami, which we didn't do last year.
Yeah.
And he's very proud of the runners that we have. So definitely, if you're around campus, check that
definitely
out.
I would recommend for all students just try to go to as many different sporting events. I wish I talked about it last 2 weeks too, but I wish I went to more. And that's my goal this year, especially with the podcast. My goal is to get into the more sports than I'm used to seeing, which it would be football, basketball, even a little bit of baseball.
Yeah. So you got a question?
Yeah, I had one. The other one I thought of, and this one could be difficult. We could agree. We'll see. But do you think, if any, on the football team, we have NFL talent?
Yes. I think Gabe Davis was a 5-star recruit out of high school. He was insane in high school, and the train has not slowed down when he got to college. He's great. A senior. As a junior, here's Mauston Kids on USF.
Yeah.
I mean, it is USF nonetheless, but Gabe Davis is something else. I think he's going to get drafted. I mean, a year ago or 2 years ago, Traquan Smith got drafted.
That's true.
No disrespect to him. He's incredible. He caught Drew Brees' historic pass.
Yeah.
But I see a lot more talent in Gabe Davis, as I saw in him.
I think Gabe is up there, definitely. I'm not sure what round he'll get drafted because it's really hard to tell with receivers.
Definitely late 6. I'd say 6, 5, 6. But
but he could be a good, just a good. I mean, he could develop into something more in the. Yeah, he can definitely.
He's got a high ceiling.
Yeah, he definitely can.
We talk very highly on him on this podcast. Besides him, McCray is a true sophomore, and last year he was a true freshman. So his ceiling is also extremely high. He was coming into the season, he was on the top 100 list. And as a true sophomore, that should not go unnoticed, especially for a position like running back.
No, definitely not. That's it. But we talked about it last week too. We have too many running backs too.
We do. I mean, Otis is there too. I wish my man could make it to the NFL, but he's unfortunately not going to get noticed enough.
Yep.
I really hope he does. I don't know if he's going to get noticed.
Yeah.
But I mean, I read the stats before. He's got rushing yards. He's got receiving yards. He's got return yards. So
I mean, he could if he cleans up those fumbles, he can come in as a return man. When he catches the ball and he gets it clean, he's a dangerous guy to catch. But it's about getting it. He's got to relax for a minute. He's got to catch it.
I made that joke about fumbling last podcast, and he did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
He fumbled another punt, but he picked it up.
Yeah, but when he fumbled it,
I laugh about it now.
I don't know if you remember, but when he fumbled it, he just looked at it. It was like he was so calm, like he knew he was gonna fumble, so he built it into his mindset, into his run. I was like, it was really weird looking.
Yeah, I know.
But
it's okay.
But definitely, I could see it. I mean, something I wanted to touch on too, and I could touch on it here. The injury to Brandon Moore, the cornerback.
Yeah, apparently it's very gruesome.
Yeah, I explicitly don't watch.
Right. It's very gross.
Both of us happen to not be able to deal with that.
I can't look at that.
People were comparing it to Milton, just in terms of how they handled the injury afterwards and the waiting period.
Right.
But obviously we here, and I'm sure all of the UCF players and fans wish him well.
Yeah.
It's terrible when you have a good cornerback, and especially someone who's such a heart of our team.
Right.
And go down in such a way. It's very similar to Milton. It's like not saying that he's as good as Mackenzie Milton is for offense, but it's like having the heart of a team, having a big player on the team go down in a very similar way.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but looking at the positive side, it's just another reason. Like Milton's down, it's another reason for us to get hyped, to get angry, to do something for us, for our dogs.
Do you think FAMU did it on purpose?
Yeah, probably.
They were mad.
That's the only impact they could have made.
I bet it was Brian Crawford.
I was like, there's no way Brian Crawford's being mentioned on this, but he is.
We got Brian Crawford, number 56 on FAMU. He's kind of a bum.
Yeah,
that's kind of all it is.
He ate up the crowd before the game.
And he loved booing, and then he didn't play a snap, and he lost by 62. So maybe he should have played a snap.
Anyway, moving on to soccer. I'm excited to talk about soccer too, because our soccer team's filthy. My boy Cal Jennings, I know him personally. He's the inspiration of this podcast. 3 goals in the first game. Another goal in the next game. Another goal in the next game. And then another goal in Wake Forest. So right now he has 6. in 4 games. That's almost unheard of. This is what happened at the UCF game. It was a little chippy in the beginning, but in the very first 10 minutes, it was sort of slow. And then UCF got hot. We got 5 shots in the first half, and one of them did go in. Cal's went in.
Yep.
Then it got super chippy with Wake Forest, and they were starting to get worried. But they scored in the 58th minute, and I guess got the crowd back into it. They ended up scoring in the 64th minute.
Soccer's a big momentum game.
Yeah. So that's tough. I think if we were at home, we would have beat them 3-0 or something.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely.
Things were going our way. We looked better, and that's the same way with women. That's the same thing that happened with the women's soccer game against Wisconsin. But hey, I'll take a 2-1 loss to Wake Forest, honestly.
Yeah, especially this early.
Yeah.
But Cal's doing great, and I'm not really sure how big because we know how it works in football and basketball because it's so focused in the media, but soccer, for going into the pro soccer, I feel like we don't talk about how the scouting works with that for college as much as we do with other sports, the draft and all that. So it's interesting because Cal Jennings is doing really good on a top 25 team, scoring against top 5 teams. So you'd have to think that some big soccer clubs are looking at him.
And how do you score 6 goals and go unnoticed?
Yeah.
And
at least MLS,
And he's starting to play teams it's not like football where we play not good teams.
Mm-hmm.
Wake Forest number 4. The Knights take on UNC, who's number 6 at Chapel Hill on Sunday. So I'm very excited. I'm gonna watch that. I'm very excited to see my boy Cal score another goal in 5 straight games. Almost unheard of. I just read this stat. In the first 12 minutes of the game, there were 8 fouls. They were 8 fouls.
That's actually insane.
That is what I call chippy.
8 in 12?
Yeah, 8 and 12. That is a reason I don't like.
That's almost more face mask penalties than FAMU got in the whole football game.
Yeah. So I now don't like Wake Forest at all because.
Yeah, no, that's actually crazy. 12 is so many.
But we had the momentum.
I'm sorry, 8 and 12 is a lot.
But moving on to women's soccer, it was the same sort of thing. We started off hot once again. We had 4 shots in the first 10 minutes.
Really good.
Right, and the Badger defense was on their heels. They couldn't do anything about it. Eventually, we slowed down, and in the halftime, it was 0-0. And then Wisconsin scored 64th minute. We had a 79th minute penalty kick, but the goalie did make a nice save.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. You got to hit your pens, though.
Right. But if you do go to a women's soccer game, 2 names to look out for. Kanya Plummer, a sophomore from Jamaica. Incredible. And Kristen Scott. They were both names to look out for in the women's soccer. They were both on the all-conference preseason team.
Oh, okay. That's really cool then.
If you're going to go to a game, look out for those names. They're definitely exciting. So... you want to move on to volleyball?
We could talk about volleyball.
You're going to get confused because I read the stats and I looked at what the stats meant. I had to read an article about what I was reading.
I got to be honest, I don't know I know how games are played. I know scoring, obviously. I know all the rules of volleyball. I have no clue what the stats mean. Ready? I'm seeing here we have digs and kills.
I'm going to read this. Ready? So
sure.
This is just strictly the UF game scrimmage. We dropped 3-1. I believe we lost the first 2 and then won the third set. And then
lost. Okay.
So.
I'm with you so far. I'll let you know when I'm off.
McKenna Melville led the game at both teams with 17 kills.
Okay.
Do you know what that means?
No,
okay,
that's
I'll
where
go
I'm
back to that. Mackenzie Kuchmaner led the game with 24 digs. Both teams.
Okay. So digs and kills.
Aaron Olsen led the Knights with 19 assists. Pretty self-explanatory. And,
assists in volleyball. Didn't think it was a recorded stat, to be honest.
But, I mean, they got to record something. So, Marlo Monserez on UF had a mind-blowing 39 assists. So, I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's 20 more than the second most.
I'm going to say it's good.
I'm going to say it's a lot.
Well, also, if you look at just comparing the kill to dig to assist numbers, getting 39 assists, that would be like multiple people's kill.
So this is I'm actually happy to teach you guys about volleyball.
Yeah,
so this is what I think, and roast me if I'm wrong because you guys definitely did not let up the roasting when I forgot what Heisman was.
That's true.
So the first
you
episode,
knew it too.
The first episode blew up, and I'm very happy about it. And everyone DM'd me like, "Good episode." But if you're gonna talk about college football, you should know what Heisman means.
Yeah.
Like I know what Heisman is.
It was you called it. Yeah, you're like the MVP of college, and I was even like trying to roast you when I said it. I was like, "Oh, you're talking about the Heisman?" And you're like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "It's so really funny."
That's never gonna let down. But I do know more about volleyball than them, so there's something I have up on them.
No more than me.
Right. So this is a kill. Okay. I'll start with this.
Sure.
This girl, McKenna Melville, had 18 points. So a point is when you hit it over and they don't return it back.
So just like how a point would be totaled for the team.
So she had one server's ace. So she served and they didn't return it.
Okay.
And 17 kills. So I'm assuming a kill.
Oh,
is like
a kill would
not
just be a
serving.
normal point.
Right. So
not off a
She was
serve.
the last one to hit it before the other team returned.
Makes sense.
That's a kill. A dig is when you're going for a kill, you're going for a point, and then you stop it.
So it's so a dig is defensive.
Right. Dig is defensive.
It makes sense because if you think about how they put their body,
Exactly.
like, it's a dig.
It's like a bump, so they dig it out of the ground.
Yep, that makes sense.
And an assist is just the pass to the kill.
Sure.
And I believe that's all the major stats. There's a lot
that
of
makes
little
sense.
Stats. Yeah.
No, I think
it's
I got
not as complicated.
No.
I don't know why they call it kill. I mean, why can't you just call it like?
I don't know because
they can't call it point.
I think they can because volleyball only one person can score. Only one person can get the kill. Just change it with point.
They already have a point stat because that's kills plus aces.
Well, but think about
you know what I mean.
But think about basketball. If it's like LeBron scored 31 points, we don't say like how many threes and how many twos.
Yeah, I guess
like how many fast breaks. Like it's pretty generalized.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of little stats. There was like math being involved, and I was like, all right, I just need like
baseball.
The most. Yeah, no, baseball. Listen, I love baseball. It's my favorite sport. There's like so many stats. I have no idea what they mean. I do know what whip means. It's walks, hits per innings pitched. But there's like WAR. There's like so many
like
things.
you say walks, hits per innings pitched, and I understand all of them, but I don't understand how that could be calculated into a number that's kind of around 1.
Yeah, so it's basically we're getting a little off topic, but it's okay because I love the subject. A walk/hit, it's basically counting how many runners you let on base per inning.
Oh, it's not walks or hits, it's walks and hits.
Yeah, walks and hits
Makes
per
sense.
innings pitched. Yep. So if you let up one person on base per inning, that's good.
So that would be a whip of 1.
Right.
Oh.
But I like the way they complicate it. I mean, the way they saw it was pretty complicated. There's a lot I don't know about baseball stats.
So what's a normal whip, like 800s?
No. What do you mean?
Like
you mean
0.8?
like under 1?
Yeah.
No, I think it's over 1. I mean, but it definitely depends on if you're a reliever.
Oh yeah, over 1 would be. Oh yeah, my fault. Because under 1 would be crazy.
Yeah. I think it's like 1.6.
Oh. Hey guys, so sorry about that cut. We had some technical problems.
Yeah, so it's 3 a.m. now, and I'm still wide awake, and you're still wide awake.
Yeah, it's kind of been a theme today, these technical problems, but we're still
here. We're
chugging
through
on.
It. We love this. We love you guys. There's our friend is sleeping in my bed right now.
We're laying on the floor
Yep.
of your apartment because our mics don't reach.
Yep, but here we are. And what were we talking about? Baseball?
We were talking about baseball, but you were going to move on to
so
volleyball.
Who cares about baseball? Let's talk about volleyball. So volleyball just played tonight at 7 o'clock. They played Iowa, and they did win. So they're 1-0 because the UF volleyball game was an exhibition. Here are the scores. If you don't know how volleyball works, it's first to 25.
Yep,
But if
we didn't talk about this
If
before.
it's 2-2, then it's first one to 15, like the rubber match.
Oh,
rubber
okay.
set.
I knew it was. I thought it was to 21, but okay,
Right.
interesting. 15.
So we won 25-15, then we lost 22-25, then we won 25-20, lost 21-25. So they're all basically close, the ones we lost, and then we won 15-11 over Iowa State. So great game. It's a huge win for volleyball because Iowa's historically good, and it's our first win of the year. I'm not really sure how these invitationals work with volleyball. I don't know if it's best record because there's only 4 teams in it. It's
very small.
UCF, Iowa, Rice, who we play tomorrow or today, I guess technically, and Ole Miss because it's at Ole Miss. So I don't know if it's the best record wins or the best 2 records play.
Yeah, I'm not sure
I
either.
will have to get back to you. The next podcast, the invitation will be over. And
so, yeah, we can go over that
We
then.
would win by then.
I have a question because we were talking about the stats of volleyball.
Right. What?
Do they give a team total dig and kill or no?
When I looked it up, they didn't. Why? You want to know a total?
Well, it would be like 700. Well, that's a lot.
Well, that's
400.
Well,
if the player with the most digs
is 24, but I think that's considered a lot. I think
then
that's like a.
So let's go to 20. That's 7.
Oh, you have an insane amount of digs.
But you would think that. So wait, okay. Now, question. You might not be able to answer this far, but is a dig only when it's like low or like if it's like a really bad hit and then you hit it, is that a dig?
Yeah, I think any return is a dig. And here's a stat I
Dude,
just
there's
read.
got to be more than 100.
Here's a stat I just read, yo. Double-double. Congrats to Christina Fisher, senior, a name to look out for. She got a double-double, and a double-double means 24 kills and 14 digs. So she had double figures in kills and digs. So
can you have a triple-double then with assists too, in theory?
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, so
interesting.
Yeah, so there is triple-double.
All right,
See?
all right.
I'm
liking
that
it.
definitely attracted a crowd to the volleyball game. Cool.
Yeah, no, I'm liking it now.
And another double-double. McKenna Melville, I mentioned her before. She's a sophomore, 15 kills, 10 digs. So, and a redshirt senior, Mackenzie Kuchmaner, 14 digs, 11 assists. So,
okay,
great job,
a bunch of
great job
double-doubles.
all around. Yeah, so a couple double doubles. I guess they're a little more common than basketball, or not. I don't know.
No, I don't
They're
know. How many people are on
they're
volleyball?
pretty common in basketball nowadays, but
For starters, yeah.
yeah. So, but anyway, that's definitely an exciting match. It went to 5 sets. So
Yeah, I mean,
next time they're home, I'm going.
yeah, no, that seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we pretty much covered all UCF
Right.
sports for the week. Obviously, we have our podcast coming up.
Right.
The next one we're recording, we can talk about the future a little bit. But I think another big game that a lot of people watched and were excited about, and it was here. It was in Orlando, so it is a little bit relevant.
No, I know what's coming.
The UF Miami
my
game,
God,
UF-UM.
That was atrocious. So this is basically what happened. I don't remember the stats exactly, but I think Felipe Frank's very inconsistent quarterback for UF.
Not good.
17 for 27, like 250.
Uh-huh.
He had 2 touchdowns but 2 interceptions. That's not good. Miami's not good. Miami's a new team with a new coach. Bunch of young guys because their quarterback just
Florida
graduated.
did bad on offense in general. That
Very
first
bad. And
half,
this
at least.
this is what made it worse. UF was up by 4. A bunch of sacks. They had like 10 sacks
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
second half. 4th and 34. Miami, it was a 4th and 34. All you have to do is not let them get 34 yards.
don't even have. You can literally run with your hands up next to the wide receiver.
Right. Miami's quarterback throws a pass about 25 yards, pass interference. Are you serious?
Auto first, yeah.
Are you serious? Automatic first down. And it's like, okay, I guess mistakes happen because they're kids. 3rd and 12. All right, just stop them. Another pass interference. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You guys are.
No, I remember. It was like 4 penalties back to back to back to
Yeah,
back.
it was, and Miami, like the reason Miami didn't win because they played even more disgusting.
Yeah, well,
fumbles, sacks, like what the hell did I just watch?
Florida was winning. I remember I saw a stat. It was like right before the first half ended, so it might have been a low skew, but it was like Florida had like 161 yards total offense, and like 72 of them came off one play.
Yeah. Oh,
and then they're getting 90 yards.
Yeah.
And
Oh my god.
the rest.
Yeah, I remember.
It's embarrassing.
I put that on my story. I was like, "This game was garbage." You call these historic football teams, and someone, a UF fan, like FaceTimed me, and she was like, "Did you say UF was garbage?" Yeah. Did you not watch the game? Like some of the penalties were like so retarded. Like like too many men and like
I saw a bunch. There was
Unnecessary.
multiple where it was 12 men to break the huddle.
Right. Oh my god. It's so bad. Like,
And but honestly, that's a coaching mistake, not really a player's mistake.
It's and I mean I happen to like the coach Dan Mullen of UF. He's the only like UF person in that entire
like.
school that I like. But yeah, it was a terrible game all around.
Very bad.
They are still bragging about that win. Like if UCF were to win like that, a disgusting win, I would stay off of social media.
Yeah.
This is my problem with UF fans.
Like our Memphis win last year.
Yeah, I was like, all right, no one text me, even though we
Yeah.
won. Like, no one be like, ooh, undefeated
definitely.
season's coming to an end. Like, but UF fans stayed on Twitter, they stayed on Instagram and Snapchat, and they're like, oh, UF undefeated. Like, you beat a terrible Miami team
Also,
by 4.
I
to the last
saw
play.
a UF fan. I won't call him out, but I saw a UF fan retweet on Twitter today. There was something about FAMU like winning a national championship in like 1953, and then it was like
cares?
UCF doesn't have one. It's like,
Who cares?
yeah, it's really like,
It's the worst
like,
thing.
what are you doing?
Oh
like,
my God.
I don't mean to sit on like I don't want
Right.
to sound like we're like UF fans.
It's just
seriously.
embarrassing for you guys.
Yeah.
But here's the
When you guys win and actually make the playoffs, you can let us know. When you can beat Kentucky, you can call us.
But back to what I said before, like when I said UF is kind of like a springboard to the NFL,
Yeah.
like there was yelling on the sideline. There's no chemistry after big hits and big plays. Like when I watch UCF, if I'm UF, I'm scared of UCF. I'm scared of what we've become. We've become so we've become one, and it's so exciting to watch us.
I think it's awesome because I lean towards pro sports You tend
Right.
to be more college. I obviously
Right.
love college football now.
Uh-huh.
Now that I go here, I love college basketball. But I am pretty against, or at least in the NFL, against fast-paced offense. But UCF is able to call fast-paced offense so well.
Right. Thank you to Scott Frost, who
Yeah.
brought it upon us. In
Yeah, no,
2017.
of course. But it
Beautiful
is
job.
tremendous that kids as young as 18, like Dylan Gabriel, can come in and get their play calls the way that we decided to do it with the multiple coaches and the hand
It's
signals
great.
and the signs.
It's great.
Super interesting. That's not like a traditional quarterback and he's got the play call and all that. But we, like, I can't remember really ever seeing a play not because of a fumble, like, break down because of a miscommunication.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think and I can't think of one.
No, I get it.
So that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, it's great. And if you're a UF fan, I'd be scared. I mean, we're up and coming. I mean, what other Florida team has a chance to be better than us? Not Miami, because that was gross.
Definitely none of
We're
them.
playing FAU next week.
The
and we're
only
gonna destroy them. That
competition
was
would be
gross.
UF. FSU's bad now
Oh, you know what I just realized?
What?
The FAU game might be canceled.
because of the hurricane.
Yeah, because school might be canceled this week. It might not be.
I think it will be.
But
I don't even think
I
we're going to
think-
get hit with the hurricane, but I think as a precautionary,
But,
they're going to close it for
Boca
more.
Raton, yeah. Boca Raton's getting it worse. We'll get more of the hurricane on
Possibly
that. But
getting it worse.
Anyway, FSU, I mean, they haven't made any noise in a while. DeAndre Francois is their quarterback. Not very great.
Lame.
USF they just got mopped,
Bad.
49-0 to Wisconsin, so that's no surprise there.
Joke.
Yeah, and there's not many other
You know what I
Florida
think about
schools.
sometimes?
Yeah.
I think, thank God I don't go to USF.
Yeah, no, I think that all the time. Like, 'cause
I go, that
was-
must be terrible.
I was looking at it online. I toured it. I was like, this campus is pretty homey. I like it. And I didn't know much about it. And I decided to go UCF. I love this school. If I went to USF, dude, their sports are so bad.
I know.
It's not a rivalry. UCF USF is no longer a rivalry. We're way better than them.
They didn't, I mean, like in March Madness, they played in like the JV bracket or whatever. I don't remember what it's called, but I know they were there. We played Duke and they played,
And we lost by one.
they played SUNY Plattsburgh. I don't even know who they were playing at that point.
Oh my god! Yeah, I remember they came to our basketball. Like they played us in basketball. In the first half, we were up like 29-7.
Yeah.
and it's like ooh, like big rivalry, and it's like it's not. Like I want UF to be our rivals. I just want to play them in something.
Yeah.
and not scrimmage volleyball. That doesn't count.
Yeah,
Because-
it's sad. Or
but-
it's like when we chant "We want Batman" and then we get to play them in basketball. It's pretty upsetting. But Steg,
Yes.
speaking about basketball,
Yes.
I have a very
Oh,
special
I was waiting for this.
segment.
I was waiting for this all week. All right, so this is a new segment on the show. This is the FAMU Watch.
I think FAMU Watch is accurate.
It is FAMU Watch. So we basically, Zach, whose favorite player is FAMU, is
Favorite player in any sport, any team.
right. In history is FAMU, and he goes on his social media, Instagram, Twitter.
I'm
and-
on it 24/7.
Yep, and and he tells us what he sees. So
Yep,
basically,
so
what do we have this week?
Steg,
What do we
you are in for a treat. I'm going to cover the basics, the basic
Okay.
daily FAMU stories. But then we're in for a treat. And I might have to pull it up for you to show you so you
I'm
can...
so excited.
So-
should I pull it up as you're talking about it?
I'll tell you when. So
Okay,
first,
okay.
we got Famuk posted on his story. We got him dancing in line. He's in a layup line. He's dancing, but he doesn't want to look like he's dancing because he's cool.
Right.
So he's just giving a little bit, and he tags someone who I don't know. But that was it for that day. The next day, he's posts 2 pictures onto his story on Instagram. One was attempting what I'm assuming. It's a still, so I don't know. But I'm assuming he was doing a between-the-legs dunk. It could have been something else. Then the other one was, and now this one's a little bit hard. Between the legs, you could kind of tell because it was like under him. But I think he was doing a windmill dunk, but it was at the very beginning of the windmill. So it was just kind of like he was holding the ball at his side.
Can I look at it now?
You can't see the stories, but I can tell you about the real treat.
Okay.
And you can pull it up. And now this one's a little old, but I must have missed it. I must have been lacking or sleeping.
Yeah.
But it is Famuk in what I would call a flannel shirt, but it's open. And he's not got an undershirt on. And it's like he's leaned over and he's giving a little smile, and it's just
Oh, I see it. Is he on the tree?
Yeah.
Oh my god, what is he doing?
Yeah, no, and it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, his caption says grateful. So, I mean, he's grateful. So
I'm
we gotta
grateful
love
to have Famuk.
him. Me too. He's like, all jokes aside, Famuk is we've come to love Famuk because of he was in Zach's American History, and all that.
With
And
Professor Head.
but he is going to be sick. Like
I think so too.
Like that's part of the meme. Like we're making it a meme to raise awareness of how sick he's gonna be.
I'm just saying,
And
y'all heard it here first.
right. FAMU is. I mean, between
FAMU
the
is
legs
great.
dunk on Instagram. You can't
Bro,
just do that.
Now listen, I love Aubrey. Aubrey ain't posting pictures in the flannel with no undershirt. I'm just telling you that right now.
Like
Taco.
Taco,
No.
definitely not. That like the scandalous pictures have to go. Sorry,
Yeah.
Luke, but
I've never seen Aubrey post a still of him throwing down a tomahawk dunk on his story.
But the goal, and I'm sure it's going to happen, is Farouk is going to be on this podcast. Last year, as a joke,
definitely. Farouk is on the
we
podcast,
we lost an intramural flag game, and we're like, who should we get? And we were like, let's just DM Farouk and see what happens. And he answered me, and I was like, you want to play flag football for our team? He's like, I can't, I'm injured. And I was like, all right, well,
That was also
thanks.
month 13 of his injury, I
Right.
think. So, Famouk, I'm just saying, dude, you gotta get in.
Yeah, dude, he can't just.
You didn't come here to sit on the bench,
he can't
baby.
just warm up and come in a jumpsuit. Sit on the bench anymore.
And then post videos of him throwing
Right,
some sick oops
and
in
dye
practice.
your hair blonde and your facial
Oh,
hair blonde.
dude.
I mean, I think that phase is over. I think he was.
I think so too, but I'm pretty sure either his hair or beard is still blonde, but I can't remember which
I
one.
think he was going through a midlife crisis at the time, but it's over.
Yeah, no, I think Famouk Watch next week should be exciting.
Oh, I can't wait. I honestly can't wait for basketball. I mean, the whole roster's basically changed except Terrell Allen. Apparently, Colin
And,
Smith has been
Pizza
doing.
Head.
Yeah, Pizza Head, Colin Smith. Apparently, he's been doing good. I really hope he breaks out. He's a senior.
He could.
He hasn't made much noise. We're still waiting on his breakout. It can
Being
come
a
now.
senior's hard in basketball, though.
Yeah, no,
Especially
definitely.
to make it past collegiate sport as
Yeah.
a senior. Like football, it's fine because you have to wait the 3 years
Right.
anyway.
But it's the one and done rule is in NCAA. So
Yeah.
if you're still a senior, it's tough. Like BJ Taylor,
Even if you don't play college, then it's only 2 years.
right? Yeah. Well, like BJ Taylor got signed by the Magic, but that's it. Well, not signed with like the summer
Yeah,
team.
the summer league contracts.
And I didn't hear his name after that. The only thing
I think
saw,
Taco's the only one. I haven't heard anything about Aubrey
Yeah,
getting
I haven't
a
heard
contract
anything.
either.
I mean, he was doing good in the summer league. I guess he didn't get an NBA contract.
Yeah, I
unfortunately.
mean,
I was really
Aubrey
hoping for that.
struggled where I think they needed him to, which was threes.
Yeah.
He was struggling a little bit, and I think that's where the Pelicans
But, I
would have
mean,
wanted
that
somebody
team's good.
like him.
That team is good.
Team's
Lonzo-
too young
Lonzo,
to have room
Brandon
for
Ingram,
that. I think.
yeah, Zion, like that's incredible.
Yeah, you said Ingram. Yeah, Drew Holiday.
Yeah, Drew Holiday's still there, man. He's underrated.
Yeah, Drew Holiday's a really good defender. Really good player.
Yeah. So anyway, upcoming schedules. We have UCF at FAU this weekend. If it stays. After that, we host Stanford. I
Awesome.
mean, if we play how we played, not saying we're going to win 62-0,
But I think we win.
but chemistry-wise, skill-wise, coaching-wise, everything
Definitely.
was on the point. We will beat Stanford if we play like that. We will beat anybody.
Yeah, no, we played great.
Except Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, and with the
The
quarterback.
Heisman, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Oh, Heisman, you got it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I think I
Oh,
I
and
did.
you predicted it was double. You knew what a Heisman
You're
was.
right. Yes.
And you predicted your Heisman.
Right. Which it is going to be Trevor Lawrence. It's not.
I
even
think
close. He's
Famouk
incredible.
might play football, and then he would then
Yes.
get the Heisman.
If Famouk played football, he
What
would-
position Famouk play? Nah, just kidding. He'd be a quarterback.
Yeah.
Best quarterback in the league.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, the Stanford game's gonna be great. But I
Can't
think
wait.
yeah, if we play with, like you were saying, if we play as we were playing with the chemistry and our quarterbacks get a little bit
Yeah.
sharper, which will
Yeah.
happen over time, it'll be
Yeah.
great.
Now that we have a little bit of time, I do want to say my prediction of the end of the football season. We go undefeated. We play UF in the bowl game. And
We win?
We win by 10.
Which
31,
bowl?
41-31. Which bowl? Probably. Wait, what's the one that plays in Miami? Is there
I don't
one?
remember.
I know the Peach Bowl's in Georgia, right?
Peach Bowl, Georgia, yeah, Rose Bowl, Cali. The one we played was the Fiesta Bowl
Yeah,
in
in Arizona. I don't know.
Cotton Bowl.
What's that?
I know it's a bowl.
It just exists.
There's too many.
There's a
There's
lot
the
of bowls.
Chick-fil-A, or is
That's
that?
Peach Bowl. Chick-fil-A
Oh yeah,
Peach
you're
Bowl.
right. You're right.
That's the one we beat Auburn. That's when I was like excited. Like I watched UCF all year, but I didn't like decide to go yet. And then I decided to go to UCF. And then they played that game, and I've never had more fun watching a
Yeah.
football game. Like I remember Jarrett Stidham, Mackenzie Milton were like
Yeah.
making unreal plays, and
If I based me going off to UCF based on our football team, first year I was here, we didn't win a game.
right,
So
right.
would have been bad if I
Oh,
decided
and 12. We were sophomores in high school.
to quit it then.
And
But
that
nope, I'm here.
was tough. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you don't have anything else, I think we can talk about wrapping it up. And
Yeah. One more question. Do you have any former Knights on your fantasy football team? I don't think you do. I don't
definitely
think I do.
not.
I mean, there's just
The only
Latavius
real
Murray
ones would be Latavius
and
Murray.
Matt Prater.
Oh yeah, Matt Prater. No, I don't.
He's somewhere. Yeah.
We're only a 10-man, so it doesn't go too deep.
Right. And
I'm trying to
and then
think.
there's defenders like AJ Boye, but he's not in fantasy. So.
I mean, I have Vikings defense, so
Oh, so technically, and I guess Traquan Smith, but I mean, realistically, he's not on a 10-man league roster. So, want to wrap it up?
yeah, no. But before we wrap it up, we want to just talk about
let's bring in
hurricane
the
coming up.
meteorologist Steg. So I'm meteorologist Steg. Basically, what I read today, as of Friday at 9 p.m., the hurricane coming, Hurricane Dorian, picked up to a Category 4, and it's approaching South Florida.
Yep.
It's going to hit South Florida as a Category 4.
Most
likely. And it's going to move up, most likely, as a Category 3 where we are staying. So everyone I know that's staying here, I wish you a safe.
And anyone who has to remain in Florida, basically,
Right.
if you lived on campus, off campus.
If you went down to visit your families, I'm happy you guys are with each
Yeah.
other. Just please stay safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay safe. Hurricanes are scary.
Yeah,
this is your first one.
This is my first one, and I'm honestly impressed with how well Florida's been taking care of their residents, with water and gas. And,
it's something we kind of make fun of, but the national emergency stuff does really help people who are in the dangerous areas, like the
Right.
Melbourne area. Now it's going to start getting bad,
Right.
and pretty much south of that.
and I honestly read that the hurricane's going to stay Category 2 through Jacksonville. So
Wow.
this is the most recent news. I hope it changes. The good part about this is that it did delay a day. It's now going to go Tuesday morning as prediction. So when we record the podcast next, which is going to be on Sunday night, the hurricane wouldn't have hit yet. So we'll have another update on
just
that. But
for everyone listening, record the podcast onto a CD.
yeah.
And then you can just listen to it.
And then
right?
you could
Is
just
that-
and then you could just send it around, and we'll
or
be famous that way.
get a portable charger, and then
Yeah.
you can listen to the podcast after your phone dies. You plug it in, charge it, podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And
But seriously, all jokes aside, everyone stay.
Yeah, please stay
super
safe. And Nights in the AM just got business cards. We're working on our
Absolutely.
banner, and we're gonna do Market Day. I guess
Market
next
Day very
Wednesday.
soon.
So wrap it up, buddy.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Again, this is our second one, and I know we had some technical problems, but
Yep.
it's still is great. We still love doing it.
Yep.
You can listen to us on Spotify. You can listen to us on YouTube. It's Nights in the AM. Literally every site I'm going to name. Google Podcasts, as well as the iTunes Store. Just give us a good rating on iTunes. If you're listening on
Right.
Spotify, subscribe. Same thing on YouTube. Not sure how Google works too well, but we very rarely get people
Right.
listening on Google
And honestly,
anyway.
when recording the first episode, I did not expect it to blow up like it did. A
Yep.
lot of people DM'd me and Zach about how good we were doing,
Yeah.
and to keep going.
And same
So,
thing, guys. If you, please just
really, really appreciate you guys. You
Yep.
guys are the best.
You guys are great. Give it a
think-
listen,
I
and
think
we-
everyone's audience. Everyone thinks their audience is the best, but I truly think this audience. is
Yeah,
the
no,
best,
and
so-
it's great that
Because-
because we're starting off now that we get closer interaction.
Right.
So that's awesome.
Love you guys.
But yeah, thank you guys so much, and you guys have a great day.